Hi, this is Mrs. Nelson. We're going to be talking today about editing and revising in the writing process. One really critical step in writing is making sure your writing sounds like what it is that you really meant to say. So, a lot of times students are pretty good at producing drafts, so they're able to get their ideas on paper. If not, you can look at some of the other videos I've made as well that shows you how to use different strategies to identify keywords and phrases, use those keywords as talking points, using the tool voice typing as a way to speak what it is that you want to write about. But after you've gotten your draft written, you need to make sure that it really says what you want it to say. And one thing that you can do to make sure that it says what you want it to say is, of course, you can reread it. But if you reread your own writing, you're likely to read it the way you thought you wrote it. And so you might read in the words that are missing, or you might read in the punctuation that you forgot to include. So it's really good to hear what your writing sounds like. So to hear what your writing sounds like, you can use a Read Aloud extension. And as a Canyon student, you have that already on your computer. Otherwise, you can look and add a Read Aloud extension to your computer. But you can highlight the whole text. If you want it all read to you, you can highlight just one sentence at a time or highlight one part at a time and have that read to you and read back to you. I'm going to have the whole thing read to me. And since it's the only text on the page, I don't really need to highlight it, but I'm going to highlight it just out of habit in case I want to practice isolating my text. So I come up here to my Read Aloud extension and I click on that to get it started.
Spiders are pretty much everywhere. They live in almost all parts of Earth. Spiders are really good for our environment because they eat a lot of bugs and keep the bug population in check. They also eat mosquitoes, which is really important because mosquitoes carry really bad diseases like the Zika virus or West Nile virus or malaria.
So I'm going to stop it right there because that sentence was really goofy. I could fix some things in the first couple sentences, but I heard they also, spiders also, they also, and that's just silly. So I can read back through my own writing and find it, or I can use Command F or Control F to bring up the search box, and I can start typing in what I heard it say. That was the weird part. So I can see they also, that's where it was. It was those two parts in that sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight just that sentence right there. I'll highlight just that sentence and then have it play back just that sentence so I can hear it again and know what it was that I was wanting to change.
Spiders also eat mosquitoes, which is really important because mosquitoes carry really bad diseases like the Zika virus or West Nile virus or malaria.
Okay, so I definitely need to get rid of my two they alsos, or maybe keep one they also, but get rid of spiders also, they also. So, I started with spiders, and I said spiders again, so I could use they instead of saying spiders again. So I'm going to just delete the spiders also, they also. I was using voice typing, and so I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say, which is why I started my sentence, it looks like 3 different times. So I'm going to delete that part, and now I'm going to highlight that sentence again and listen to it and see if there's any other changes I want to make to that sentence right now. So I come back up here to my Read Aloud extension and listen to it.
They also eat mosquitoes, which is really important because mosquitoes carry really bad diseases like the Zika virus or West Nile virus or malaria.
So I notice at the end it says or twice, and I know that I'm not supposed to have or in a list more than once. So I'm going to come to these two ors and I'm going to put in some commas. Carry really bad diseases like Zika virus, comma, West Nile virus, comma, or malaria. Okay, now I'm going to check that sentence one more time. I'm going to highlight that whole sentence and listen to it.
They also eat mosquitoes, which is really important because mosquitoes carry really bad diseases like the Zika virus, West Nile virus, or malaria.
Okay, that sounds so much better to me. I could probably still make some changes to that so that it could be even better, but right now that sounds so much better. So I'm going to listen to the first few paragraphs or sentences again so that I can see if there was something before that I wanted to change. So I'm not going to highlight the whole thing. I just want to listen to the parts I've worked on so far.
Spiders are pretty much everywhere. They live in almost all parts of Earth. Spiders are really good for our environment because they eat a lot of bugs and keep the bug population in check. They also eat mosquitoes, which is really important because mosquitoes carry really bad diseases like the Zika virus, West Nile virus, or malaria.
It sounds pretty good, but I think there was something wrong in that first sentence. So I'm going to highlight just that first sentence and listen to it again and see if I can figure out what was bothering me.
Spiders are pretty much everywhere. They live in almost all parts of Earth.
Oh, I see. I have two different thoughts here. I said spiders are pretty much everywhere, and they live in almost all parts of Earth. I want to separate those into two different sentences. So I'm going to put in a period and capitalize they. Oh, the computer even recognized that is an option. So now I want to listen to it. Maybe that was really the only part that bothered me. Let's listen.
Spiders are pretty much everywhere. They live in almost all parts of Earth.
Awesome. So I'm not yet done. I haven't worked with my whole paragraph, but I have started using this important part of the writing process, which is editing and revising. And one really helpful way we can do that with digital tools is that we can use a Read Aloud extension to read it to us so that we can hear what our writing sounds like. Because sometimes if we read our own writing, we read it like we meant to write it, but not really like what it says. So it's really good to have it read back to us so that we can hear and isolate and find those things that just don't quite sound right. And try to figure out what we can do to change that to make it sound more like what we meant to say. All right, thanks for watching.